Students will sometimes ask me how often they should practice yoga, and I usually just flip the question around on them and say, I don't know, how often should you practice yoga?
Every day.
It depends on what you mean by doing yoga.
Consistent, regular, daily practice has been the advice for years now. That's where this hashtag came from. A lot of yoga teachers and researchers are suggesting right now that repetitive daily practices and routines may actually be kind of harmful for your joints, in particular knees, hips, and shoulders. Combine that with the flexibility bias in yoga. Basically, when you practice, everyone's always trying to go deeper, further, and push into postures in ways they hadn't pushed before. And you got a situation that is potentially a problem for your body. Now, a double problem here is that there has been a lot of research and studies and meta-studies that are, basically collecting data that have been collected by other studies that have pretty much confirmed yoga is excellent for addiction, depression, anxiety, and regular practice in particular is especially helpful. So we end up with a really weird situation where yoga can become almost like a new addiction or a new form of obsessive kind of compulsive behavior. And I've seen this show up a lot, especially in yoga teachers.
So I think one of the biggest problems that we run into is that the people who are feeding you information about the benefits of yoga or the benefits of a particular practice are also the same people who are going to benefit from you going to classes on a daily basis or at least a regular basis.
So in kind of an ironic turn of events, I actually think you should practice yoga every damn day, but I think that your definition of yoga needs to be really broad, really diverse and multifaceted so that your yoga practice also has a fair amount of variability and diversity built into it.
Every damn day.
In the Sanskrit English Dictionary by Monier Williams, there is listed about 37 different meanings for the word yoga. So yoga doesn't mean one series of postures or even like a number of different series of the same 200 postures repeated over and over and over again. One of the things that makes yoga so awesome is that it means so many different things to so many different people, and we can choose to practice those parts of yoga that are best for us and most appropriate for us.
One of the problems we run into, though, is that we don't always know what's best or appropriate for us. We end up spending so much time focused on what we want and not actually what we need, that we end up thinking that what we want is actually what we need.
So that's exactly why it's so important to have a yoga teacher that's familiar with yoga in a number of different ways. Yoga as relaxation, as a mobility practice, as a practice for body awareness, for mindfulness and meditation, for creativity, movement and self-expression, for healing and therapeutics, for community and support, and for fun and for playfulness. So there's even that's a short list. That's like 8 different things. You can think of more, I'm sure. Go ahead and leave them in the comments if you want. That's a lot to ask from one yoga teacher, and one person can't provide us with everything that we need in life. You know what I mean? Like this whole takes a village to raise a child situation. Well, it takes a village of yogis to support ourselves and to help ourselves learn and grow and share with each other on sort of our yogic path. So how often should you do yoga? Every damn day. But what does that really mean? That's up for you. I mean, you got to decide that for yourself. That's what learning yoga is all about. And that's what being a yoga teacher is all about, is helping people to sort through that, work through it, and come to a conclusion on their own, rather than trying to get inside their head, tell them how often they need to be practicing and what kind of practices they need to do. Instead, yoga teachers should really be providing ground and providing space for people to engage in that exploration on their own. So thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and leave some comments. Let me know how often you should be practicing yoga.